Hey music fans, as a roadie I had this great opportunity to tour with all these bands. I wrote a book about my experiences on the road and it was the #1 new release on Amazon and Bios and it's now sold millions of copies on Kindle. I'm Joel Roadie and this is my podcast, Party Like a Rock Star. So this guest is a little random. He's random because he's a new friend of mine, my girlfriend. She's like, tonight we're going to go to a variety show. And she said it was close to the house. I was like, all right, fine. So I end up going with her to this variety show. I don't know if you guys know the LA area, but if you do, there's a place called Van Nuys that's in the valley. It's okay, whatever. So we're going to go to Van Nuys to see a variety show. Then it changes in the car to, it's a variety show at a trailer park. I'm like, of course it is, right? So we did this variety show, and it's actually a super cool trailer park. It's called the Hollywood Trailer Park or something, and it just had a cool vibe to it. And there's a whole bunch of people in a room, and they're going to perform, right? And, you know, a few of them were really, really good, and it's because the winner gets $500. So anyway, I'm hanging out, I'm watching it. It was interesting to see the panel of judges. Since I'm doing these videos all the time, it was interesting to hear what other people say when they're doing reactions or whatever, and they were real cool. Anyway, this is the dude that won the variety show. His name's Scott Palmason. I thought he was super, super talented. I liked the guy a lot, and I asked him to come on my show. So a little bit of background on the guy. He's an actor, singer, and a comedian. He's from Seattle, Washington. He's been on shows like The Tonight Show and Disney's Channel's The Lion Guard. You can find him regularly performing at the Outside In Theater in Los Angeles. And his next event is Ella's super cool Eurovision Holiday Spectacular. It's December 16th at the Lyric Hyperion Theater, again in Los Angeles. You can follow him on Instagram at Scott Palmason. Anyway, let's jump in this together. He had never heard NIGHTWISH, and we can see his reaction together. I made it a little bit of fun. I made him perform at the end. And then there's a little bit of an Easter egg, so when it goes into my music, if you usually log off, you can wait 2 seconds if you want. It's kind of like a Marvel movie type vibe, right? Anyway, thank you guys. I do look forward to seeing you on the next one. It might just be another NIGHTWISH reaction. Let's jump into this first one together, though. Thank you. Have you ever heard of a band named NIGHTWISH?
I have not.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, Scott. So I did this for a reason. A, I'm a huge fan of the band. B, this is, I don't want to say my favorite track of theirs. I'll say arguably one of them. I really do think they're awesome. This performance, I hope, sticks in your brain for a while. That's how much I like it. However, it's going to give us 10 minutes or so for you to digest what's going on. It's a longer track. Okay. I know you because of that event that we met, which was very random. And I know you're an improv master. So my thought process is it'll give you 10 minutes not to only appreciate and like, but maybe we can come up with something fun afterwards that's a little different than my regular reaction videos. If not, at least you got a good track to listen to.
Yeah, no pressure. Got it.
No pressure. Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
No. Let's do this.
All right.
Your girlfriend will just leave you.
Yeah.
I've already arranged it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I call it the calm before the storm in this track.
Totally, totally.
Right?
I love the different levels of everything. It's just super theatrical. This is awesome.
Your parents were opera singers, or
Yeah, my grandfather was a semi-pro opera singer, and my dad was an opera singer. So I grew up with a lot of, my dad and my grandfather singing arias like in the living room and doing concerts, and yeah, a lot of opera in the house.
okay, cool. So I'm really I haven't brought on anybody I'm aware of, at least, who has an opera background. So I'm
Yeah.
intrigued to see what you say at the end. So let's continue on, if that's cool. But that's neat.
Fire. Nice.
What'd you think?
That rocks. That just it flat out rocks. It is. It's clearly a mix of the theatrical with the rock in the best possible way, and it really is. Really leaning into that genre where it is equal parts. Almost feels operatic, like a musical, like a theme, like a story's being told, something grander than the stage. And yet at the same time, it's like you can flip it on a head and it's look at us rock out with
Yeah.
these instruments or the voice. That was awesome.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
glad. So, one of the things when I saw you sing at this, we were at this little show, but hopefully I got a lifelong friend here with you because I enjoyed you. But as soon as you got on the stage, I didn't, I nudged my girlfriend and I was like, this guy's a real singer. This guy's a trained singer. And she's like, oh, okay, okay. And what I loved about when I first heard Floor sing, because there has been a few different singers for this band, but
Okay.
Floor sing, I was like, oh wow, like, and it was that same feeling of, oh yeah, you're like really, really talented. So, what, what got you feeling that joy in the track immediately? Was it her? Was it the drummer? What got you going? Oh, this is good.
I think the first thing is really the composition. The composition and the choices, or the choices that were not made, truly is what got me in first. If you look at bands like, it reminded me, there were echoes of Tangerine Dream for me.
Oh,
Looking at Tangerine Dream, looking at, let's say, the soundtrack to the movie Legend, there's these like epic moments in that movie that tell an epic story, and that's kind of what we were doing here. It really was, can you match like an epic rock vocal but make it very uh angelic almost at moments, and can you make it sweet and soft and then turn it on its head and make it bigger? There were elements of for me at least, elements of Queen there as well. The way that Queen might turn something very, very sweet and almost like telling a folk ballad and then turn it into rock right away and tell a grand story.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what it was. And I think that the license to have that theatricality with the rock, almost like, and again, I think this rock's much more than Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but it kind of reminded me of them a little bit too. The great thing about that group is you have the celebration of the holidays, but with this rock edge. And I think that reminds me of the theatricality here with that rock edge. I think ultimately it was the composition that got me in first, and then the vocals were. I also loved how the vocals were restrained at moments. It wasn't an all-out noise fest. It was softly building to the end, and by the end you could see the audience. They're going, oh, and everyone, you and me are like, this is amazing, because
Yeah.
it was built. It wasn't right away giving it all away. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. Actually,
Yeah.
was Legend Giorgio Moroder? Do you know?
No, it was. I
I
don't
can cheat.
know. I do know that I do know the story there was that it had a film score, and Ridley Scott decided to, for the American release, bring in Tangerine Dream to do everything. So the Tangerine Dream version is the one that I know.
Oh,
They're much more 80s synthesizers and a little more of an 80s kind of vibe. But similarly, I could see this being a beautiful soundtrack to like an epic movie or story, and that's kind of what they were doing as well.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Legend. It's the one with
Mm-mm.
Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah, so one with Tom Cruise, the legendary Tim Curry. He plays this guy with huge horns. Mia Sara. It's such a great fantasy film, especially of the 80s. And
Okay.
I think that I love movies like that take fantasy elements or theatrical elements and bring in like a rock band to kind of complement it. This was very cool.
Oh, right on. So I don't know if you'd be up for it, and I don't know how it will go. But the evening I saw you perform, you did something that you later told me was totally spur of the moment. And
Sure.
asked a few of the people in the audience to pick a few random subjects, and then you performed a song like out of nowhere that you pulled out of your pocket, and you won the event, right? And
I
so
did. I did.
it was super cool, man. So I don't know, but I'd love to see you do your thing because you are so. I know you're really talented, but I'd love for some of my guests to see how talented you are. And my
Sure.
ask would be, can you pull some of the elements of the track that you liked and put it into a Scott song?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. All right.
I think the
But you like improv.
Yeah, well, what I would challenge you to do is give me a subject that may not rock as may not come off as rock. So like, pick a subject and I'll kind of give you an idea of how I might construct that song, at least how my brain might go, and I'll
Okay.
kind of try to make it as close to this as possible. But I'll talk through it a little bit as well.
All right. So the idea is something that is not like this song, something, but not music, just something random.
Yeah, a subject matter that wouldn't normally be in a rock song, like something more mundane. Normally, rock is about like revolution, or it's about love, or it's about a story. What's a subject that is like that would never be in a rock song? It's too mundane, too boring.
What's a stamp collector called? There's a
I
name.
think it's just a stamp collector.
No, isn't there a name like a numerologist is for coins?
Oh gosh, what is the name for a stamp collector?
All right. Well, we could either say stamp collector or numerology. I don't know which
Okay,
one.
so if it were stamp collector, I might start with like the and then I might start with like maybe the stamp collector's day. It's like, well, let's just go through the day of like the stamp collector. My mind would go, I wake up at 10. Dun, 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 dun. I'm at it again. Just another day in my one-room apartment. Dun, 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 dun. Cat needs to be fed. Dun, 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 dun. Hopefully he's not dead. And I must make some food. Dun, 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 dun. I must make some food. Dun, 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 dun. And then we might slow it down a bit.
Sure.
And then I might realize I'm out of eggs. And I go, how am I supposed to collect stamps if I have no eggs for breakfast? For breakfast, breakfast. How am I supposed to go on without a 4-cheese omelet? And then all of a sudden the fire goes. Dun, 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 dun. We haven't even gotten to the stamps yet. It's just fire. And then I go to the story of like, when I was 4, my mama makes me an oatmeal sandwich. I threw it in her face and said, no, cheese is the only way. A 4-cheese omelet. And the audience goes, 4-cheese omelet. And they know it. 4-cheese omelet. And at this point, people are throwing blocks of cheese on stage, and there's eggs going on stage because they know this rock song.
It's
And
a
then at
breakfast
that
mayhem.
point, we might go, and we might transition. And it might be similar to what they did here. Everyone again takes a break.
Yeah.
You might hear a nice little piano solo.
A little bit of cutting the cheese.
We'll be cutting the cheese. Got it. Yeah, yeah.
Literally, though. Like that. Yeah.
And then I would say like it goes into a beautiful moment where like maybe we see like the obsession with the stamps. You're like, now that I am fed, I can be with my true loves. Now that I am full of sustenance, I can collect. Now that I am full, I can pay attention to you. Kind of feels almost Phantom of the Opera. I can be here to put you in the binders. Carefully, one by one, it starts to grow. The music starts to intensify. One by one, it gets larger. Here we go. A collection's not a collection unless you collect. A collection is not complete until you have the rest. A collection is nothing but fancy unless you're the best. I say I'm number one, enough with the rest. And then I think that's the crescendo, similar to what they did there. I would start to list all the different stamps that I had, and I would go one by one. I would maybe have people walk out with stamp costumes and like start throwing stamps into the audience. And
tattoo stamps.
Yeah. But that's my stamp collecting rock theatrical song.
All right.
Off the cuff, improvised.
It was amazing. I think everybody's been watching like, what is he doing? What is Joel Puff? But you know what? That was a totally different style of reaction. We did something different. And I'm glad you, in all seriousness, like the track. So why don't we jump into another one? So I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I did this with my last guest, and he actually did not like one of the tracks. So I played him another track by the same band. And with your permission, I'm going to play you a track, a Nightwish track, with their first singer, and see what you think.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it.
When you said you were going to cut the cheese, were you making a joke?
Yes.
Got it. That was good. I was like, I could have, yeah. That was some good improv, Joel. That was some good improv.
Dude, I was, off the cuff right there. Hey, the podcast is over. What are you still doing here? Well, while you're here, like and subscribe. Thanks.